That's the old farmhouse. I don't know if that... It was such a little house. I don't know why Dad put the red top there, but that was red. But when I was a little kid, no, I wasn't so little. I was in grade 6 because I remember the teacher who said to me, "Oh, your dad painted the house, eh?" And I said, "No, it's just whitewash." I was embarrassed. In the yellow grass house where the folks moved. I think they moved in there fall of 51 or 52. That's Mom and May. May is the only baby born on the homestead. Herb and May and Esther, that's at the south door of the old farm. That's a door we never used because we had to, the house was so small we had to put furniture in front of it inside. And we never used it. And that's Mom holding Wilf's hands. Next to her is May, and then Esther, and then Herb balancing on one foot. And that is at her older sister Flora's house. Oh no, that's relatives. That's Nora Dreger. Shouldn't get my dirty fingernails in there.
Is that right?
Nora Dreger and Mom and Ida Dreger Bartlett and Marie, can't remember, Marie Heidemann Dreger. She married my cousin Fred. And that's me looking to the right in the back row. And then you see Frances Dreger's face over the shoulder of Betty Bandman and Aunt Tilly at the far end. And I don't know who that, and there's Joycey Dreger in front, the youngest one. I don't know who that other woman is. And the little boy there in front would be Ida's son, I think. And I think her daughter is standing in right in back of him. Now, that was at Uncle Lou's farm in Alder Plain. So the women were photographed and then the men. I think that's Uncle Lou on this end, and then Ken looking over his shoulder, and Dad. And then Fritz Heidemann. Can't remember how he got into that relationship. And I don't know who the boy at the end is. There's Martin Dreger with the shiny forehead. Danny looking down. I don't know who's sitting in front there. And that's Jim Bartlett right in front of Dad. And his little boy beside him. And Joycey Dreger in front. And Ida Dreger peeking over Jim's shoulder. You can just see part of her face. And that's Aunt Flora holding on to Ida's daughter, Arlene. And that's Herbie Dreger sitting there. And Nora. And Nora, I don't know whose baby she's holding there. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm losing it. Your pappy. Well, up at the top there is Herb looking at the camera with Vern Goodwin hammering something. And below is Dad when he bought the tractor in, I must have been 2 years old. He carried me out. It was a muddy day, spring day, and he carried me out to sit on the tractor. What do you call it? The fender. And that's Herb proudly hanging onto the wheel, and Wilf sitting on the other side there. That must have been 1928, I suppose. And here is Herb and Adolph Miller. Adolph was one of May, I think he was May's first boyfriend. Maybe not. And Mom and Wes and I. Neighbor kids, Esther in the middle there. Esther and then May on this end, and Wilf between them. And I am standing in front between Esther and Wilf on this one.
Right.
And Wes is right in front there. Just a little bitty boy. He couldn't have been, I think, more than 3 at the time, or maybe 4. Just a very little fellow.
So that's a week.
And me on the school steps.
Like I said, you can.
There's Wes and I in the bottom corner with a neighbor girl. And that bottom picture there is, that's our family portrait, by golly. That's Herb and May and Wes sitting up on the fender, and Esther. And May and Esther had just had perms, I guess. And me, I was too young to have a perm. And then Mom, and then Wilf, and Ken in front of Wilf. Can't believe Ken was ever that short. That's me on the left with George and Florence Weber from Avonlea. Florence is the only member of that family still living. She was at Christmas time, anyhow. That is cousin Clara and myself. And Clara is sister to Florence and George in the first picture there. That was on the theater steps in their little town of Avonlea. Now there is that Weber family. I think that's August and Florence and Clara in back, and in front is Harold, who was the policeman in Regina. In the middle is Fred, who was lost overseas, and the other one is Gordon. And that's Mom's side of the family. This is Dad's side of the family. We went to visit them at Lipton. And top of Herb's head in back, and Art Lutz, and me with my hand out gracefully, and Rose Lutz and Ruth Lutz. Now, Rose was a cousin to Ruth and Art. And they lived sort of a farm away from each other. There's your father.